Hey guys, I'm Harriet Rose. Make sure you follow By the Way podcast to keep in the loop with every single one of our incredible guests. Now let's get on with the pod. Hi, I'm Harriet Rose.
Hi, I'm Joel Dommett, and by the way, I can balance anything on my chin.
Wow. Okay. Please don't take that personally. He's just kissing the air.
Just 'cause I feel like that could be my new thing. After I say everything, I just do a little.
I don't know.
Not good for podcasts, I don't think. That's the kissing sound without seeing it being. Is that nice or horrible?
I don't want to ever describe it as nice, if that's okay.
Yep.
Joel Dommett, everybody. Comedian, presenter, podcaster, husband, father, and all-around good bloke who wastes his time learning that he can balance anything on his chin. Who has the time to work that out?
It's someone who grew up in a very lonely area.
Wow, that wasn't what I was expecting you to say.
Very lonely boy. With only sort of an empty garden as my best friend.
No friends.
And no friends, loads of time. And so I developed many talents. Balance almost anything on my chin.
Yeah.
Something I learned in my garden.
Well, that's not what you said, was it? You said balance anything on your chin. So we're going
to... anything that is long and straight on my chin.
That sounds homophobic.
Yes, it is. I cannot, under any circumstances, balance a gay man on my chin.
Well, let's see what happens later.
They famously move too much. They're always dancing, having a great time. And I'm like, stay still, George.
We need boring straight men who sit very straight on your chin.
Very straight. So when you grow up with friends that are a car journey away, and parents who rightly so don't want to drive me to my friends, I learned how to balance almost anything on my chin. I learned how to nunchuck. I can nunchuck quite well, professionally. I would say I once came second in a competition in 2002.
2002.
Yep.
Right.
So I got very good at nunchucks, very good at balancing things on my chin, very good at masturbating. I'd say that too. Did that in the garden a couple of times.
And do you know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what I find more of an ick, the masturbating or the nunchucks.
The problem came when I tried to do all three at once.
I walked into that.
Yep.
I walked into that.
That's what she said. So much fun when you sing it.
You know what I'd written on my question? I said, how did you discover this if that's not... And I was going to innuendo it. I don't even need to innuendo with Joel Dommett.
No, I just out innuendoed you.
He literally will just say masturbation to your face.
Innuendomit. That's what they call me.
That is what they call you. At least they will now.
It's worse when it's small, isn't it?
Yeah. Never take up a career in ASMR.
No.
At least we know that you're not good at that. How often have you used this as a party trick?
Actually, not very often. I sort of forgot I had it as a talent.
That's probably good.
Yeah. I sort of forgot, and then suddenly, you know what made it come back? We had a circus episode of The Masked Singer, maybe last season, maybe the season before.
I remember.
And they were like, "What? Do you have any talent?
Do you have any talent at all, Joel?
At all, please, for God's sake, save this show." And I said, "Oh, you know what? I can actually balance something on my chin."
And did you do it?
Oh. And then I did it. Yeah, I did it.
Was it cut out the show?
Probably, almost certainly.
Yeah.
I think I balanced something on my chin because those links are getting more and more ridiculous, as you full know.
It's one of my favourite things about the show is I just never know what's going to come out your mouth or be wrapped around your legs. And what I mean by that is there's a different outfit, there's a different energy. We can get tighter trousers than we've seen already, and it's proven because it gets tighter and tighter in every season.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's hard with all the suit stuff and all the outfits because you go through this process of going, oh, I think that's a really nice idea. Let's go for that. And then you pick a suit and you go, okay, cool. And you see a swatch of it and you're like, oh, that'd be really fun. And you sort of can picture it and they do a drawing of it. You're like, oh, that's going to be great. And a lot of the time it really works for the show, works for the vibe of it. It's really great. And you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. A lot of the time, it doesn't work at all. And you just see it on telly and you're like, oh, that's We've gone too far there.
What's one in this last series that you would recollect as?
There's some suits that you're just like, it's really difficult because on telly and against the way it's lit and you just sometimes you go like, oh my god, it's such an amazing suit, and you try it on in the suit shop and you're like, wow, this is incredible. And the guy who makes my suits, Gresham Blake, is unbelievable. Like literally any idea I come up with, he's like, yeah, cool, and just makes it. And then you wear it on telly and you're like, oh, it's maybe too far, or it's like not far enough sometimes.
So it
so
almost
hard to get
looks
right.
like you've medium gone a bit kooky, but it's not kooky enough, so people just think it's how you dress.
Yes. Someone said to me the other day in the street, he went, are you Joel Dommett? I was like, yes. He went, I didn't recognise you without your fancy suits. I was like, you did.
You did. Well, at least he didn't call you Ben Shepherd.
No, which I'd happily have.
Who
He looks younger than me these days.
He's hench as well.
He looks fantastic, that boy.
He's thick, bro.
He is thick.
With 2 C's.
2 C's and a K.
Yes. Is there anyone, just randomly, I want to know, is there anyone that you get mistaken for? Dermot? Ben?
I get called Dermot a lot.
Just by your wife?
Yes, by my wife, because that's what she really wants. She goes, so I get Dermot because my second name's Dommett. So people go, Dermot, and I'm like, I get where you've gone wrong there. I get Josh a lot because me and Josh Widdicombe are very different people. There's like, they're Joel, Josh. I make me look like a Joel. I get this all in the same sphere.
Talking of Ben Shepherd, you two have actually got a brand together.
Yeah, we started a skincare company called Joel and Ben for Skin.
Why did you call it that?
Well, I think it's quite a serious business, isn't it? Skincare. Everyone's quite sort of serious. So I thought it would be funny.
I think it's amazing.
And also, like, we got experts involved, so we're gonna have a legit product that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I hope that you're not behind the product.
That works. That it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And men, generalizing here, a lot of the time, don't really know what to do with their skincare regime.
100%.
They don't know where to start, and you know, I say women, but by that I mean my wife has like such a complicated regime with all this stuff that I don't really understand what's on the bottle. It's often French. And so it's hard to sort of, it's like a club that you don't really know your way into. So it's like, we're just trying to make a fun and easy, accessible club that men can start off on and have a good time. And it's also called Foreskin, which is very fun.
I think it would be very fun to buy your husband foreskin for Christmas.
Exactly. And this is the mad thing. I only found out. Bear in mind, we've been talking about this company for like the last sort of maybe 3 or 4 months, me and Ben. And we decided on that was going to be the name maybe a month ago. I only found out maybe 3 or 4 days ago. He doesn't have one.
A foreskin? Ben?
Doesn't have one.
That was not what I was expecting to learn today.
He does not have one.
Ben Shepherd doesn't have a foreskin.
Nope. He keeps it behind one of those pillows on the This Morning sofa. Always keeps it as a keepsake.
Just for luck?
Yeah, just for luck. And he kisses it before every single... He was like, okay, here we go. 10, 9. And then cat kisses it.
Okay, too far.
Too far.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I'm just... I found out that... And then I...
How did you find out?
I've got one.
A foreskin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, is this how everyone's finding out? Because I didn't ask. I don't know if anyone noticed. I did not ask.
I'm pretty sure you did ask. I mean, you can rewind the tapes, but I'm pretty sure Harriet just went, have you got one, Joel? Tell me. Yeah.
We'll dub your voice into that.
I've got one, and if you want to know, no, I don't think you do.
No, go on. Now
No.
I do.
There was a moment when
You almost didn't have one.
I almost didn't have one.
Was it?
I got to 20 years old.
He is thinking so hard about what he's going to say right
Yeah,
now.
I really am. Yeah.
Go
I
on,
got to
give it
20 years old.
Yeah.
And I'd never, it had all, until I was 21 years old, I was always wearing a turtleneck.
Right.
I never at any point had a crew neck. At no point had revealed itself.
Right.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
So even when...
And then one time, I had one of my first girlfriends. We were involved in sexual activities, very new for me at that point. And then it went from a turtleneck to a crew neck for the first time in my life. And you can imagine how tight that crew neck was.
I can't actually, and I don't want to.
No.
But so did you have to do something about it?
So then I stretched it every day in the bath for 6 months. Every day, that's a true story.
And do you know what? If you're going to buy skincare from two men who've named their brand Foreskin, at least you know they know about it. If anyone knows about Foreskin, it's you two.
Yeah, I've been on a real journey with it.
Well, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad that you made it into a very comfortable crew neck.
It's if anything, it's too baggy now.
Do you think you could balance it on your chin?
Well, certainly. Some other people have.
I walked into that one as well.
That's what
He said.
Can you put some reverb on that, please? Like I'm shouting it from the top of a mountain.
And we'll remix it.
Yeah.
Going on to this next question kind of makes sense after what I just asked you. What is the weirdest thing you've ever balanced on your chin?
The weirdest thing, when I was younger, I used to. I'm sorry, by the way, that was my choice. I feel like people who have probably had better choices of, by the way, and had something that can be really in depth, get involved. You told me that Jonathan Ross's one was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And the entire time after you said that, I was thinking, well, I've got balance on my chin. That's bad. I'm sorry for that.
What I would say in rebut to that is, how else would we got into a conversation about foreskin?
I would have managed to get it in some way.
But
That's what she said. Oh my God, stop.
Can I just say...
Stop me.
This is... The whole point of the show is about you picking a topic that you want to talk about.
Yeah. I once balanced, those gym benches in school that were like those long wooden benches?
I don't know where this is going.
Very heavy. That's probably the heaviest thing I've ever balanced on my chin.
What? You balanced that on your chin?
Yeah, I needed like 3 friends to help me get it up there. And then you
That's
get it up there. Yeah, that's what he said. And then, really hurts your spine a lot because it's quite heavy.
Sorry, colour me impressed, because I have actually become impressed by that.
Long, straight things are the best. Something with a broom.
Like Peter Crouch?
Peter Crouch would be perfect to balance on your chin.
Okay, well, Peter
that
Crouch,
light,
you're watching.
I would balance that on my chin perfectly. A tripod, I'd probably do, to be fair. It's nice if it's something that's a little bit comfy on the old.
That's not what this game is about.
On the chin, but if someone goes like balance that chin, balance that glass now, go. You can't do it. It's not long enough because it would just fall off. But if you have something long, you can do it for ages. A stool.
Well,
and by that I mean the thing you sit on.
Why don't we put it to the test? Let's test some. Come on, let's
test
do
some
it.
Things. It's that point in the format. And now looking. Oh yeah, I'd do that ladder.
What? Wow.
I
okay.
do that.
Will I get sued though? If you break your jaw.
Shelving unit. I'd do that.
No.
Something. Let me slice it.
Oh my God.
Are we ready? Yeah.
Okay, go. Oh my God. Joel Dommett!
That was too short there. If I was in a garden, that would go on for ages.
Okay, I take it back.
Thank you.
I take all my judgment back.
There we go. That's all I needed. I needed wow. I needed a wow from Courtney on socials.
I'm actually flabbergasted.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening, Joel has just balanced on his chin, I would say a 6 foot, it's a changing, it's a modesty cover. Sorry, I need a sec because I'm not going to lie. I wrote this episode very much. Joel and I's relationship is very much me taking the mickey out of Joel, and also Joel sort of taking the mickey out of me, but usually me taking the mickey out of you. And I fully did not believe that you would be good at that.
Balance anything on my chin, long straight.
Next up, Peter Crouch.
That was a perfect thing, I'd say. It's like, it was heavy-ish, but not so heavy that it's horrible. Had a nice resting bit on my chin. Nice and high, but the only problem was that there wasn't enough space to me to walk and around.
I'm so sorry I didn't give you an auditorium, because honestly,
Sorry.
if you let loose in an auditorium, I don't know what, if you were live at the O2, in fact, now I think for your stand-up, forget the jokes, because they're not as good as that.
Just do that for an hour.
Yeah, but different things. You could enter Britain's Got Talent.
I could enter Britain's Got Talent.
Haven't you got Ant and Dec tattooed on your feet as well?
I do have Ant and Dec tattooed on my ankles, yeah. I thought it was a really funny thing to do, because, we're all looking for content. And I thought, I was hosting Extra Camp, which was the extra show of I'm a Celeb at the time. And I was walking past a tattoo studio. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just got a tattoo of Ant and Dec? Got it done. And they were just a little freaked out by it, I think.
Oh. Was there either one of them was less freaked out, or they both just equally sort of restraining order?
What are you doing? What are you doing? It's really funny in my mind. This happens a lot with me.
Banter.
I really commit to things. And then the level of commitment freaks everyone else out.
I would say the crew just got quite freaked out by the fact that you just literally balanced a door frame on your chin. I think the height of it was the shot.
Oh, yeah.
The height of it is a good, few inches taller than me.
Thank God we had a double height ceiling.
Thank goodness I paid extra for this big studio.
Yes.
Talking of balancing things,
Oh.
I think you're very good at balancing your career.
Well,
Whoa, what a segue.
What a segue from Harriet Rose. Thank you very much. In what way?
Well, Mars Singer, Taskmaster this year, you're doing.
Very exciting.
I'm a Celeb.
Yeah.
Your podcast, being a dad, being a husband. Also, you do loads and loads of other shows. I think you've got a new show coming out.
New show called Sabotage, which is coming out very soon on ITV on Saturday nights. It's really fun. And
Yes.
I really hope that people embrace it, because it's just like a really all-out, just silliness, fun show. I'll give you the conceit of it. It's basically a different reality show. You have these contestants that are involved in a different reality show every single week. So you have a baking show one week, then you have an SAS show the next week. You have a crafts show the next week, and so each week's entirely different setup with different contestants, and they think they're in a reality show, but they're not. They're actually in this show called Celebrity Sabotage, where we've got this group of celebrities who are sabotaging them, trying to be in this reality show.
Iconic.
And every time we do it, they win money for themselves, but they don't know. And it's just, so it's got a lot of heart to it, a lot of really, really funny. And that line of hidden camera stuff is always so difficult to get right.
Yeah.
And I really think we nailed it on the show. It's really, really funny. And then Taskmaster, which is really exciting. And then I'm on tour, and my wife is pregnant, and she is just found out that the date that I am on tour at the Palladium is
The
due date, yeah.
Wonderful news. Live at the Palladium on
So it's exciting.
2026
My
for Joel
wife's like,
Dommett.
you could cancel it though, and I was like, yeah, but it's the Palladium.
What you
can't-
should have said back is, you could cancel it too.
You could cancel the birth. Actually,
You could actually move it by a day if you don't mind.
you could just cross your legs and hold your breath. So,
And hopefully she will.
and hopefully she will. I'm gonna take her
Imagine-
to the Palladium. I'm gonna maybe sit her on stage so I can keep her.
An eye on her.
Because I don't want to be. Because once I'm in flow, you can't. I mean, someone will have to come on stage and be like, "Stop!
She's having the baby.
She's having a baby," and then everyone will be annoyed. But if the audience could see that happening in real time,
Do you think you give your wife a +1, or will she have to pay for a ticket on the stage?
she has to pay the ticket like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that money that she pays, by a lot of different streams, eventually goes into the joint account.
Yeah. But firstly, it's yours.
Yes. Yeah.
following.
It's
That slipstream, she does make a benefit at some point.
she benefits at some point. Yeah. It's yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to. I like the jeopardy of that. I think.
Yes, it's very exciting. And also, what a story if you're live doing a stand-up show
Right?
at the Palladium to be like, gotta go.
Exactly.
My wife's having a literal child.
Literal child. So basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get as many midwives to come watch me at the Palladium, because then it would be fun because we were like, just do it here, and then what a show!
What a show.
What an amazing crescendo.
Headline, Joel Dommett wouldn't even leave work
No.
to look after his wife.
Hannah's giving birth whilst I'm there. I'm basically like, it's sort of, I'm essentially live streaming the birth.
Yeah, perfect.
You know,
Well, it's
on
great
stage
for
at
this
the
day and
Palladium.
age.
I think people will get really, behind it.
I would be aware to make sure the Palladium are aware of getting some of those sort of slip signs just in case there's any.
Yes, yeah, and it's got a bit of a rake on that stage, so it might sort of a mixture of
Fluids.
fluids
Down
just
the-
going down into the front row and into the ashes of Bruce Forsyth.
How do you balance it all though? As my segue suggested, you balance a lot of big shows. You are a very big TV presenter
It's always
in
a
the
bit of a
UK.
difficult
People
one.
love you.
I don't know whether I'm balancing it well or not, really. I try my best just to enjoy everything that I do and try and do everything to the best of my ability and have fun with it. And you just never really know what is the thing that's a step too far for me and for everyone else. It can be the weirdest job where suddenly that job is everywhere and everyone's seeing it, and then everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're everywhere," and you're like, "Well, I have kind of been doing the same amount of stuff for the last sort of 3 years."
Yeah.
It's just suddenly there's one thing that's become bigger,
It's gone viral or
whatever,
yeah.
And I think there's people watch so many different types of media now that you do have to do more by its nature to sort of get too annoying to people. I hope I'm not annoying, and it's just I find it really hard because I really love working,
Yeah.
and so I really love what I do for a living, and I really love the challenge of things when they come in and they don't feel quite right for me. I love the
Yeah.
challenge of making it right for me, and I love the puzzle of going like, okay, this is what I think is best for that, and then I'm here, and how can I fit that puzzle together to make something that I think people would enjoy?
Yeah.
And I love that challenge, I think, but sometimes I should just say no, really. But I find it really difficult to, because I just think it's a real privilege to be asked.
Yeah, I don't think I would say no. And I think the thing you always have to remember is Ant and Dec are definitely on more shows than you. And no one
Yeah.
hates them. So I don't think that's a real thing.
Well, they're on more successful shows. And that's the thing with Ant and Dec. They're on constantly throughout the entire year
Yes.
on massive, just titans of entertainment television. And so it's really hard. It's really hard to know, it's really hard to know what's right in this business and what's going to work and what's not. And, like, I know Alan Carr is now the absolute, he's become
The darling.
the darling of the entire country again, even though he always sort of has been. But
I think he
Traitors
had
was
that
so
with when
brilliant.
it was his show,
Yeah.
and he's done the Traitors again. It's just like, because this is the thing about our industry is it's sort of like swaves and waves of different energies, because there's been times when like Alan was acting, Alan's done
Yeah.
chat shows, and it's the same for you. You've created new concepts. You've gone back to doing the extra show on I'm a Celeb. It's like there's a lot of different sways to your career, and I think you don't bring the same energy to any of it. Like when you do the National Television Awards, for example,
Yeah.
every year I'm excited as to what insane thing you're going to do in the intro.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to bring to us this year? And it's never the same. And you're always willing to take the mickey out of yourself. You're always willing to make yourself the butt of the joke, but you're also willing to bring us along with you for the ride. And I think that's why it works for you.
That's what I really like about doing things, everything, trying to do something different with it all. And it's hard now, especially with kids, because I do just want to be at home.
Yeah.
I just want to be at home hanging out with them. And, it's just
Balancing that.
balancing that is hard. And it turns out I am better at balancing things on my chin. Turns out that
Hey, listen, we can all learn.
it's. I'm not saying that I'm getting it all right. And I think that's the thing that think people on television, even on social media and on whatever. And it feels like people who watch these people think that we've got it all worked out and we're all these brilliant, perfect people. And it's not. I am all over the shop, man. I'm just like shooting in the dark, trying to figure out
What's best?
what's best and what's best for me and my family and my career and my wife and all of our futures. And who knows?
And I think a lot of people share that. A lot of people who are in families, a lot of people who have other people that rely on them, whatever job you do, I think in all seriousness, that is a genuine concern for people. Like a lot, especially at the moment, the time we're in right now, where it's a cost of living crisis. There's a lot of people that are having to work longer or multiple jobs, and it's a hard balance. I mean, do you ever wonder, in all seriousness, about burnout?
I don't sort of worry about burnout personally for me, just because I really relish. I know that about myself. Coming up doing stand up for so long, that was always my thing. That I was the guy that gigged a lot. I loved gigging a lot because I knew maybe potentially of like it was an insecurity of mine that I was maybe worse than other people, and so to fix that, that's why I loved it. I loved the idea that you're involved in something that if you were bad at it, the more you did at it, the better you got at it.
Yeah.
It was a simple thing. It's a ladder, the way it's a meritocracy. You work your way up the ladder and just become as undeniable as you possibly can. I'm not saying I'm a great comedian, but it's like you've just got to, the proof is in the pudding there. It was, acting, presenting even, I find it quite just discombobulating sometimes because you can work so hard, but at the end of the day, if that show doesn't get watched by people, it gets cancelled, or you can put loads of effort into something and it's not necessarily shown in the output.
I think there's something about doing the kind of jobs that we do where people don't understand that, yes, of course, we open our whole lives up to being essentially commented on. The jobs that we do, the things that we create. But I think people don't see that, like, when something fails or people don't like it, or, I mean, not that that's ever happened to me. But, it is one of those things where we are putting our heart and soul on the line. And I think you are a real definition of that, like, knowing what I know about you, like, you truly care about other people and you put your heart and soul into everything you do. And it is a scary old world when it doesn't necessarily always work. Do you think there's a part of you that is sort of making up for that lonely garden childhood and is like, do you know what? I am going to do every gig. I am going to prove to everyone that I'm funny. I am going to sort of show people what I can do because actually, in a weird way, there was no one to show.
Yeah, I suppose so. I've done too much therapy. You know the questions to ask. The it's I suppose it is sort of a proving people wrong thing that it comes, from early in maybe my stand-up journey. It's sort of people would look at me and be like, "Oh, that guy can't be funny," and so I'm a problem solver. That's what I love about my job. Is if you boil it all down, you're a problem solver. When I go to any gig, I look at the room and I go, "What? This is the problem that I need to solve and overcome." Right? Whether it's like a rowdy Friday night craziness, where it's a corporate, where it's just like full of like
people not listening to you,
window cleaning awards. What do they want, and how do I solve this problem? And it's just a really fun thing to navigate. And it's the same with telly shows. It's like, how do I navigate this? What is it that people want from this? Like the NTAs, what is it that people want from me on this show? And what is it the producers want? What is it the channel want? Trying to get them all together on one thing, and you're the connecting thread between all of that. And then try and do all of that whilst trying to create a nice vibe for everyone who works on the show.
Yeah.
And hopefully be able to come out of it with everyone going, Joel did a really good job, but also what a lovely guy to work for. That's the dream for me.
That's the dream for me too. I feel exactly the same. And I think when something that people forget, if you're like, oh, I really want to be a presenter, you should only become a presenter if you want to make it not about you. In my opinion, it's sort of like the goal of a presenter or an interviewer, in my view, this is just my opinion, is to facilitate something or someone else. So in terms of hosting a show, you're facilitating that show.
Yeah.
In terms of what I do a lot, which is interview other people, my job is to bring the best out of you, is to give you the opportunity, but also sometimes to help you along the way. And I think your sort of like approach to work is how can I make this good for other people to watch? And that's the key, because actors, it's about them. We're interested in actors' lives and what they're about outside of the characters that they play. With singers, same thing. It's like the art is about, and your art, I think our art is about other things. It's like we're almost like a speaker.
You're a vessel for other people. Yeah, I know what you mean. And comedians, often it is about them. So comedians often find it really difficult to then make that sort of jump from being a comedian to being more of a sort of presenter side of things. It's hard. Well, it doesn't necessarily even mean that they're a bad comedian. But it sometimes means that they're too good as a comedian, that then they can't go across to presenting stuff because they can't make it about other people. They have to have it about them. And then when you watch them on big Saturday night shows trying to host it, but they're too good at comedy. And so it's too much about them.
Jokes. And it's too much about the jokes.
Yeah.
And sometimes in an interview, you could have, you know this, when you've got a thing in your head and someone's speaking, you're like, I need to know that I have to let this go.
Yeah,
even though it could be the funniest joke that anyone's ever heard, because it's like, I'm a conduit. Like, I'm here to make this fun for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, to me, that's the joy. Like when someone comes to me, like they do every time with Joel Dommett, they go, this person's a bit difficult, just FYI. He's the easiest person ever. But when someone's difficult, it's my dream. It's like,
I'm the same, yeah.
I'm like, let me sit down with you, because I interviewed someone who's like very old school, like an older actor who is like old school British. Well, yeah, he's British, and he's grumpy. He's grumpy. I made that man laugh to the point where it was live. It was a live sort of like panel that I hosted. He sort of turned and stared at me as if to say like,
fair play.
Good for you, girl. You did it. Like, and I love that. I live for that.
That's so interesting.
Don't you?
Yeah, I'm the same. I like those people who've been in television for a long time, famously quite difficult.
Yeah.
You know, like very just like stuck in their ways, and you know.
Also can't be asked to be there a lot of the time.
They can't be asked to be there. Been done it for ages. Don't need to be there.
Yeah.
But they're somehow still there. Those people I find like really interesting to like. Again, it's a problem-solving exercise. Like, what's my way in? Often with those sorts of people, it's to kill them with kindness and just kind of like, you know, then always with men. It's always with men. It's always men. It's always that thing of going, making sure that they know you're not a threat.
Yes.
And then finding a way in, and then you're in, and then you can have more fun.
So you can't walk up to them and go,
you can't go up to them and be really funny.
Oh, yeah,
because
true.
Suddenly they're like, whoa, what's this guy? I learned that from my old school MTV days. That's where I started interviewing people on MTV. I was an MTV news guy. And you just get these massive, amazing stars. And I'd go in because I still had that comedian heart in me.
Yeah.
Where I'd try and be all funny, and everyone like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Just like, and you just got to like play the game a bit more.
And I think that's interesting because from a female perspective, it's different.
Yeah.
So my
sure.
thing is, when I walk into the room, I'm going to say something just immediately berserk and disarming. So something about, usually it's self-deprecating. Usually it's like, and it's not because I'm trying to make you think a certain thing. I'm going to be myself like I am with you. And I've known you a long time, like I am with my mum.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like that because you are no different. In my view, obviously there's people, you know, I respect people very highly, and but I view humans as humans.
Yeah.
If you are another human, just because you are one of the most famous ones, it doesn't mean I'm going to treat you differently. And that was a problem I had as a child, because I used to get in so much trouble because I would speak to a parent the same way I would speak to my mates. And it ended up becoming my career. But it's because I'm a woman, so it's a bit different. My energy can be different to what your energy can be like. And I can imagine men on men. That's what she said. heated rivalry. Men on men, I can imagine you can't be too funny because it's like, don't sort of like...
Yeah, what are you trying to...
trying to make...
trying to
Also,
help.
they get scared that you're going to take the piss out of them. Whereas I
Yeah.
think people like being taken the piss out of by me, I hope.
You are. You know I'm a fan.
Well, I'm a big fan of you. Talking of you, actually, straight off me, no thanks. Speaking of actors, I'm going to go into my by the way about Joel Dommett.
No.
By the way, bring back DC Sweeney.
Have you seen it?
Deep, of course I've seen it. Deep cut, everyone. Joel Dommett played a young Bristolian. Because you're from Gloucestershire, right?
Yeah, I'm from Bristol, Gloucester.
Yeah.
I'm at the border of Bristol and Gloucester goes through my garden.
Unsure if people from where you live would be okay with the accent.
All right.
Essentially, Joel played DC Sweeney in season 4 of Skins, one of the most iconic British TV programs of all time, I would say.
Yeah, huge.
And the Skins cast have notoriously all done very well.
Yeah.
Including you. What was that experience like? Because I just think none of us should forget you as a young... And you were with Carolyn Quentin as well, who I love.
So great, right?
What was that experience like?
It was so... It's with... Well,
How
as
old
someone
were you?
from Bristol, I just started stand-up, so I think I would have been 21, something like that. And I had this weird audition for it, and then they were like, well, he's Bristolian, he'll do.
Yeah.
That's essentially what happened. And then it was great, actually, because when I started stand-up, then I kept on putting Joel Dommett from Skins as a thing, as a credit that would get me gigs.
Clever.
But yeah, I wasn't one of the kids, annoyingly. I was I was like this detective. I think it was in 2 episodes.
Detective Constable, just to be
Detective
clear. You were
Constable.
not...
Imagine a detective constable, 21-year-old detective constable. Bad casting, I'd say.
I would say, for me, the reason it's iconic, I like to bring things that are just like, sorry, it thrills me watching it. Because there's still a clip, you can find a clip online. It's very hard to find. But it's you, and you say like one line in this clip, and you go, it sounds like you've Googled what Bristol sounds like, and you've done it.
Yeah.
And
What's going on over there then? Who knows? Oh no. I did a lot of those that I did was in Casualty. That was my first thing I was ever in.
And you were even more Bristolian
So
than that.
Bristolian. My
But it's
dad
like-
was in a car accident, so it's basically the whole thing, me and Casualty. Dad, no, he's in there. He's still in the car. I just passed my test last week. Oh my God. You can find that online as well.
I just think we should all spend a bit of time looking up Joel Dommett's acting career from the ages of like 18 to 21. All right, Joel, it's time to get something off your chest or remind the world of something they didn't know about.
By the way, I had a sex scene with Sienna Miller.
And he's not actually lying, even though he raises his eyebrows.
Yeah,
like that.
I know, but the problem is my word against everyone else now because it was cut out of the film. So
it really is your word against everyone else.
It's literally my word against everyone else.
Tell us the backstory.
Right, let me show it to you quickly because you'll see it.
Oh, you've got it?
Yeah.
Oh, so it did happen.
Let's have a look. Here we go, yeah.
Oh, right. So they
That's it. So they cut the sex scene and replaced it with a train going through a tunnel.
So you're telling me that a train going through a tunnel looks better than you having sex?
Yes. Yes. They're also saying, my dick's a train.
I'm deliberately not saying anything.
I know, yeah. The
My dick's a train.
My Dick's a Train, which is another new podcast I've got coming out. We get loads of guests on, and they say what their dicks are like. So yeah, and first of all, what a lovely human being Sienna Miller was. I was like 19 or something, and I went to Wales for like 2 days to film this thing. I had a sex scene with Sienna Miller, who'd had sex scenes in a lot of films that she'd done. She was the person that I fancied the most in the world. And I had a sex scene with her, and I barely had sex.
Oh, Joel.
And so there was this weird thing in my head where I was like, maybe I'm doing it wrong.
No.
And then I'm doing it on film with my dream woman. Got posters of her on my wall, and suddenly I've got to pretend to have sex with her in the back of a train, and then I assume they cut it out of the movie because I was too into it.
You manifested that, and first and foremost, they probably cut it out because, do you know what? Who doesn't love to see a train going into a tunnel?
People love seeing trains go into tunnel.
But I think that's a very iconic thing if it happened, because obviously there's no proof.
No proof.
And you never saw it.
Never saw it.
Does that haunt you that you've never known what it looks like?
I filmed it for 2 days. This whole dialogue, I had loads of dialogue back and forth. Went into the back of the train, had dialogue back and forth. Lots of like full scenes of dialogue. I was like, oh my God, this is my ticket, man. I'm gonna go to Hollywood. And then I went to the premiere, Cineworld, Leicester Square, in the film. Obviously, no one knows who I am, so just go straight into the movie. Sit there, watch the movie. I'm not in it. Cut out my sex scene.
And that was actually only 30 seconds.
That was barely 30 seconds, which, ironically, that's how long I last in a sexual situation.
Oh, poor Hannah.
Oh, Hannah.
I'm proud of you. I think that's a great, by the way, get to know Joel Dommett, the actor. I mean, you might not be able to get to know because a lot of it's been removed from
films.
Removed from films on the internet. But
how cool is that?
It's really cool.
Isn't she she was so nice to me.
Yeah, I bet she was.
So lovely. And the cast of that film was, and this is who I met on the set. So a 19-year-old kid, I was filming with Keira Knightley, Sienna Miller, and Cillian Murphy.
Now that is
what iconic
triple threat.
That is absolute, and Joel Dommett.
Yeah, well, I would have said him first.
Mm.
I was on set with Joel Dommett and some other kooky cats.
Some other kooky guys. Yeah, but I was that was mad. It was like another life before I started stand up, and I didn't really know what to do. I really had no sort of I didn't really know what I wanted to go into really, and I did that movie, and I did a few other bits. I did a play in London with Adrian Dunbar.
Amazing.
So I was just like starting to get like bits and bobs, but I just never really felt at home doing this acting thing. So I was just like, everyone takes themselves so seriously. I hated auditioning because it would just riddle me with anxiety. I was bad at learning dialogue, or I'd be good at learning dialogue, and then I'd go to the audition and just completely fall apart. I felt like I was awful at the whole thing. And got a few jobs here and there. My friend lived in LA. I had a friend of a friend who lived in LA, and he was away filming something for like 2 months. So through this friend of a friend, he was like, his house is free if you want to go and just like live in his house. And I was like, yeah, right. So
LA?
So I just went to LA and lived in this man's house, and just I didn't think it through, to be honest. I just went there with no money.
Yeah.
And I can't afford to. You've got to have a car there.
Yeah.
So I couldn't afford to have a car, so I just to walk everywhere. It's just the only people that walked in LA was me and homeless people.
Yeah, and me as well, by the way. When I went, I didn't have any money either.
So just wandering around the streets, and it takes hours to get from one block to the next.
And people do look at you like you're insane.
And the heat is like, you get everywhere really sweaty. But so basically ended up, I stayed there for, I think, a month and a half. There was this comedy club really close to the house. So that was the only thing I could go to. And I really loved comedy. And I was like obsessed with this sort of thing of stand-up comedy. But I didn't really think it was something you could do. And so I'd just go to this comedy club all the time. And there was these early shows that were free, or you could get in for like a really like 50p or something, or whatever, dollars. And so I would go and watch that all the time. And watch all the open mic stuff. The open mic stuff was free. And I was like, oh my God, people are rubbish at this. This is really interesting. I didn't realize that people were. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should just try stand up.
Yeah.
And then I can go home feeling like I've achieved something, because I didn't achieve anything else. When I did this gig, you paid like $5, and then you do like 3 minutes. It's like the rafters of this gay bar on Sunset called Rainbow Inn. Went up and did a gig. Did 3 minutes of stuff that I'd come up with on that day. And then it was honestly the funniest, strangest, sounds like a fairy tale. I'm probably making it bigger than it is in my head. But I remember walking back down Sunset Boulevard over like the stars of people's faces, like the names of people's on these stars, genuinely, after doing one 3-minute gig, just thinking, I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That is so beautiful.
And it just that one moment changed the course of everything. I got home, and I said, I said to my agent at the time, I had this like acting agent who, again, I didn't really know that was what I wanted to do. I said to him, I was like, I'm doing this now. This is what I'm doing. So I'm just going to concentrate on this for the next, because I knew it was something that I could just really put everything into. And I just
And you did
gigged.
it.
Then that night I landed, I gigged, and just then basically did a gig every day for the next
100 years.
100 years. Yeah.
Well, you did it well. And that's the thing is, follow your dreams and let your dreams lead you on to your other dreams. And that's a beautiful way to live your life. Don't stick to the first thing you thought you wanted to do. I had the same kind of trajectory in my career. And I think it's definitely an inspirational one for our audience.
Yeah. Still riddled with anxiety.
Perfect.
So might be better to work in recruitment, to be honest.
That's for next year. We like our guests to give a piece of advice to our audience. So if you have any little bits of tips or life advice for our audiences.
By the way, if you're lacking some sort of skin regime, you can always use foreskin.
Not me, but boys, you should.
If I was to give genuine advice to people, I would say, it's my sort of thing that I try to live my life by.
Yeah.
Is prepare as much as you can and then don't give a shit. That's where I try to place myself.
Yeah, because if you've prepared, there's nothing you can regret.
Yes. Yeah. And then you've just got to let it go
And
trust the process. There's such a weird thing where you've just got to trust that your body knows what it's supposed to do.
especially when you wear foreskin.
Especially when you wear foreskin.
Joel Dommett, everybody!
Great.
Gorgeous.